Now, how many of you are tired of doing your diesel oil change? Because you've got to have this many tools to get under the front of the car to take out the underpanel. I'm lucky I've got a pit, but look under here. This is what I did today because I was tired of doing it for so long. I drilled a hole. So I made a hole in the underpanel. Now, as you can see, it does leave the underpanel, or leave the bolt on the front a little bit more exposed, but I'll be buggered if that isn't a lot nicer. You can get in there and undo the bolt, let your oil drain, do your oil drain every 10,000 K without having to take this whole damn thing off. Now let me show you what I did. Okay, there you go, underpanel out. Now, of course, the main reason that knocked me over the edge today is one of the bolts, one of these bolts, the capture thread that goes into the underpanel, or goes into the body, started rotating. So I couldn't get that bolt out. Couldn't get it, just spun and spun and spun. I had to cut it to get it out. I'll show you what I did to fix that, to secure that thing again in a moment. But anyway, this thing here, right. So you can see that this is the bottom of the sump. You can see that this whole area is the bottom of the sump. This is the leading edge. This is the leading edge. Okay. The pipe here is there is an oil pipe there. I discovered that the bolt sump plug is right there. Okay, I worked that out by, it is the width of my finger. This is very highly technical. The width of my finger from my knuckle to the end of my finger was where the bolt lined up. Okay, so I knew where the middle was. I got a 60mm, just a regular, actually a cheap one did it because this stuff is very soft, hole saw. Now, to line it up, when you look at the line that's here, the sump plug actually sits a little bit back and it sits a little bit below. Okay, so when I lined it up, it came to about there. There is a lump on the bottom of the sump plug that sits out into this area. So I lined it up that way, but if you don't have the luxury of all this, there is some plastic moldings here. I'll do some measurements for you. From the edge of that plastic molding to where I cut the hole, the middle of the hole, edge of there, 30mm there. So 30mm because it's a 60mm hole saw. So that's from the edge of the molding through to there. That should line it up. You can see I've taken it to the edge, to the exhaust protector. Now, this hole in full length is 17 centimeters long. To line it up, it's sort of up to you really how long you want to do it. I thought that was a decent length, didn't go too far. It's enough to let the oil run out under pressure, because of course as soon as you crack it, it's going to spray and then dribble down. And it'll probably come to about here as it's dribbling down. Okay, so I've cut that hole to suit, and I reckon it's going to be fine. It means I don't have to take this wretched thing off, and an oil change is a lot less tedious. You can see here I had to cut the wadding out before I made the cut, the hole saw, because the hole saw would just tear all this up. That's important. Cut this first. It's about 10mm thick. Cut it first before you start drilling the plastic, because the hole saw will just tear this up and tear it all off. It'll all just bunch up and make a mess. So that's a good trick. Good luck with your oil changes.